Alright, hello and welcome to Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. How's it going? We're going to do another WIP and chat here with The Colors of Life by Chuck Pinson. This is a Dreamer Designs canvas, however it's no longer available through Dreamer Designs due to the licensing expiring. But feel free to check out the Diamond Art Club website for a possible similar rendition of this canvas. Anyway, this one is square drill, 52 colors, including one AB, which stands for Aurora Borealis. And they're an iridescent coated type of drill that sparkles a little brighter than that of regular drills. It's 80 centimeters by 60 centimeters, or 31.5 inches by 23.6 inches. Alright, we're working on 321. Previous, just like a red, and I believe this is the Faded Heart symbol. Yep, that's what it looks like. So hopefully your crafting and other endeavors are going well. It's snowing out today, a little bit windy. Yeah, so I'm just kind of chilling in the house today. Day off of work, so yeah, thought I'd diamond paint for a bit here. Well, yeah, we'll just hang out. Alright, 321. I'm not sure if I've finished Faded Heart. Oh, okay, there's still some yeah, I tried posting a WIP and chat last week, but it didn't work out so good, so I had to get that off of my phone. That one WIP and chat that I had recorded, but yeah, so haven't missed much really, so we'll get there. Well, hopefully this one will publish just fine. Yeah, I think I was just working on this red, or going into this red symbol. This is part of a tree trunk here, and then foliage. Yeah, I think more of the tree just lingers further up here, the trunk-wise. And then just last of the gazebo roof is right here in this lower section of the area. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of leafy kind of colors, autumn leafy kind of colors. Oh, excuse me. All right. Yeah, so it's kind of just slept in a bit this morning, and then was watching a earthquake documentary, like about that fault in California, that earthquake fault, San Andreas fault, I believe. Yeah. And then the predictability or studying earthquakes, where California is like overdue for a large scale earthquake. It's one that happens every 200 years or something, they were saying. Yeah. Yep, I think planet Earth is just going to do its own thing and not, yeah, rely on science or human predictions about natural disasters. The Earth is just going to react or do its own physiological kind of stuff, geological functions. I think it's like Cottage Life channel or something where I was watching this earthquake documentary. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before, but on the weekends they marathon certain shows on cottage life, so the topics vary. But usually about nature or natural disasters, kind of. Yeah, it kind of beats the news, like the 24-hour news cycle, so my parents just settled on a cottage life for today, just letting the whatever comes on there come on, and I'm watching snippets of it. Yeah, I had breakfast and lunch kind of thing before coming out here to the studio, so yeah, it's kind of chilled for the morning. Oh, it's not worth venturing into town with this kind of weather, snowy weather, so I'll just kind of chill today, hang out. I don't know if the weather is going to get worse or what's going on. Can look at a weather app on the phone kind of thing, but like you just get like more of a real-time view just by looking out a window and seeing what the weather's doing now. There have been days where it's like clear as a bell for a few minutes and then it's just complete whiteout condition past couple days. So. Typical Canadian winter in my area anyway, so yeah, I've had road closures and stuff, etc., and then just winter storms. Yeah, I think school students have had like 13 or so snow days where they just close the schools just for public safety reasons. So 12 or 13 days off for school area students because buses got canceled and stuff due to the weather. I think it like narrows down to road conditions, like how safe the roads are, just to for student safety and all that, and bus driver safety too. Yeah, bus drivers aren't going to operate a bus if it's dangerous to have occupants and stuff on a road that's compromised by weather. So what may seem like a minor whiteout condition around that I see out the window in one part could be a totally different scenario in a totally different area, even nearby, with just like whiteout conditions or roads snow covered and icy, just like probably 10 or so kilometers away kind of thing. It just all depends on the weather and high winds and stuff. Yeah, we've had periods of thawing and stuff, so it gets warm. Yeah. So yeah, melting starting, and then there's like a flash freeze kind of scenario, and yeah, water just turns into ice on highways, and yeah, it's just like just a skating rink for cars, for traffic on highways and stuff. So the weather's been a little turbulent for a few days these past few weeks, but I just take my time and drive to the road conditions. So, okay, I think that's all the heart symbols I can see right now, but if I do have missed one, then yeah, I at least know what color to go to. Okay, 321. Okay, there we go. We'll get number 1 out. It's definitely a shade of green, I'd imagine. 580. Yeah, it's gotta be a green. Okay, 580. There we go. 580. Yep, right here. Yep, yeah, it's a green. Figured as much. Okay, 580. Yeah, green. Of course my nose wants to run. Okay. And number 1 symbol. Okay, these ones are going to be all over the place in this section here. Right, let's start down here. See what happens from there. Oh yeah, there's some ones over here, just in the bottom right-hand corner. Good thing I'm just kind of scanning the area. Very subtle kind of greens in here. Yeah, I figured like at the very start of doing this canvas, I figured it was like early fall. Because there was still some greenery in the shrubs and stuff depicted in the artwork, so yeah. Allegedly early fall, early autumn, early to mid-autumn. So yeah, I'm not really one to do seasonal kind of canvases. I did that like once a couple of years ago. I did like a snowman in the winter. Yeah, but yeah, not really a get out a holiday themed kind of canvas and then just work on it. Yeah. Christmas time kind of thing, or holiday season time. Yeah, I just did that once. It's just basically what I choose a canvas to work on, and then yeah, just plug away at it. Yeah, I'm just settling into my new role at work at my full time, so. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just kind of scanning the edge of the section here. Okay, right there. Just kind of seeing, defining more of the edge here. Each new color have to fill in the section here. Okay, yeah, let's go a little here. I'll just see if I can define the edge here. Yep, one there. And yeah, just go up a bit further. Yeah, just do swaths of large sections at a time. but keep it within camera view. Yeah, camera range. Yeah, another one there. And yeah, pretty sure we're close to the top of this section here. Right there. Yeah, okay. Probably where I can safely stop for the side there. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. There's just like a extra drill just hanging out on the section. Yeah, you might see my arm quite a bit in this particular section, but I'll try to keep it out of camera view, but yeah, just my camera brackets orientation and just how high we are in this column. Yeah, just kind of makes me reach. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, this is a larger canvas, so yeah, I do like the larger projects, so yeah, I have done smaller canvases, yeah, but I generally do the large scale canvases. I have like no particular target or goal to finish canvases within a certain time limit. I just take my time here on here. Just kind of record when I can. Yeah, I kind of do aim to do one whip and chat a week, but at this point, but last week just did not pan out. I recorded, but yeah, I just couldn't publish for some odd reason. Yeah, I've lost other whip and chats before. And accidentally deleted the footage and yeah, just never released a video particular times. Oh, it's all good. It's generally not too much of a gap in like lost footage, really, but yeah, I don't panic too much. Yeah, this is an older phone, so yeah, it's basically a camera with Wi-Fi access, so can do a couple things on my old Samsung here, so but primarily, yeah, let's record whip and chat. Yeah, eventually I have to use my iPhone and then figure out how to upload to YouTube from the iPhone, and then yeah, keeping it at the filming at the resolution I have now. Yeah, probably gonna hear a lot of plastic crinkling too for the cover. My arm's like sticking to the cover page that I have pulled back here over a rolled portion of the canvas. Kind of like a scroll. I have it clipped into place. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of working on the side here. Just kind of find ones as I go here. Might have to mess around with the wax here. Yeah, drills are beginning to not really adhere to the wax. Yeah, it's a slight decline in adhesion, but yeah, it's nothing new. Yeah, it's just a quick grab the toothpick that I have handy and then just shift the wax. Wash around the wax a bit and then put it back into the tip of the pen. Yeah, I use a segment of wax as long as I possibly can, so I'm not going through way too much wax. Okay, yeah, let's do the toothpick thing. Oops. There will always be an instance where I'll bump the camera. Wouldn't be surprised if I bump the camera in like every single one of the whip and jet. Yeah, it's just a feature here on Echoes of Color. Yeah, it's not ever going to be a time where I don't hit the camera or the camera bracket. Yeah, it's just something that's going to happen. Yeah, never shocked. Me hitting the camera. Let's get high class cinematography here. Let's make high quality stuff. High quality recording. Yeah, okay. I'm just thankful for what I have at this point. I'm sure like a newer laptop and a nice quality camera on a good camera bracket would be a perfect combination to be able to record these and then upload to YouTube easier, or edit. But my idea of editing editing videos is maybe very different compared to what other YouTube content creators would likely see. I basically add my logo at the start and the end of this recorded footage and export to YouTube. Yeah. And then upload. Yeah. Export from my editing software and then upload to YouTube. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Terminology there. Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty amazing what a few years can do with technology there. Yeah, at the time, the Samsung was probably like decent. It's like what was modern at the time, like a good chunk ago, 5-10 years ago. Now it's just like kind of like a relic kind of phone. I'm sure people still have older cell phones, older generation cell phones that still have service or can take calls and stuff, but yeah, I think they do slow down, and then the phone battery just chokes. But you get used to like having a piece of technology all the time with you. You get used to having a phone using it all the time. It's an adjustment to switch to a new piece of tech sometimes. But yeah, most of the time data transfer is somewhat straightforward, or somebody professional can do it for you to get your new device set up and data transferred and contact information, etc. Yeah, you usually just get somebody who knows what's going on to do something like that anyway. Set up a new phone. Yeah, just not really that tech savvy. I can like sit down and like figure out how apps and stuff work on the phone, or like tweak with some of the settings. But yeah, transferring data from one phone to another, or one device to another, yeah, really not my strong suit. Not something I look into or have experience. Yeah, I think phone data is basically on a SIM card. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Just literally a microchip that holds all the data, memory, and photos and stuff. It's the memory card for the phone. And it just processes the different aspects of the phone's function. Or maybe it's just memory storage. Really looked into that stuff. As long as the phone turns on, has Wi-Fi, I can take a phone call if needed, or text. Yeah, just fairly straightforward kind of contact capabilities for a phone, and not really too fancy tech-wise. Yeah, laptop, but with the same thing, be able to check emails, connect to the internet, open a couple programs, yeah, play a couple of games, yeah, it's basic functions kind of stuff. But I am getting used to working with spreadsheets, my new full-time position, inventory and stuff, so yeah, learning about that. Experiencing a higher level of computer usage. So, yeah, the spreadsheets are already set up kind of thing. It's just like inputting new data or updating the data. Moving, copying, pasting different data. It's a lot of numbers and lot codes, and yeah, having a look at just a spreadsheet for like 8 hours a day, probably pretty taxing, but it's just a small portion of the day that I have the spreadsheets open. Yeah, I can log in and check work email and that kind of thing. Yeah, just to get updates. And we have a cell phone kind of thing. Work cell phone. But anyway, you've been watching Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. Down below in the description, I just basically mentioned that this is no longer available through Dreamer Designs, but to check out the Diamond Art Club website kind of thing. So, other than that, take care. All the best with your crafting endeavors, and I will see you sometime again soon, hopefully. Bye.